Welcome to your angel messages and overall energy update. So let's dive right into this Celtic cross here so we can understand what the overall energy is for you at the time you're hearing these messages. The very first card we have here is the World card. Look, a job well done, joy, contentment, and the path towards enlightenment. So what the angels are talking about here with this being the heart of our spread is that this is something your heart is really wanting. You're wanting to be seen in the world, but you're not really sure if you're on the right path or if you have the time or resources necessary. So we're going to be diving into other guidance here. We always get actions to take at the end, so make sure you're staying tuned to the end for the bonus messages. And let's see what's coming up in the challenge card. That makes it easier for us to kind of understand where we're getting stuck. In the challenge area, we have the Three of Fire. Things look very good. Time of positive change. Have patience, make long-term plans. Okay, so because of where this is in the spread, this is your team talking about, by the way, your spiritual team is your angels, your spirit guides, your passed away loved ones, ancestors, anybody you've agreed to work with from the spiritual realm, and even spirit animals. And it's saying that you're feeling challenged to have patience. You're feeling challenged to make long-term plans. And part of this is, again, because of that fear around resources or having enough time, maybe needing a little more knowledge. So we'll get some clarification there, but what's the first thing that comes to mind for you when you think about, I'm being impatient with this? Are you being impatient with a relationship, impatient with a project, impatient with planning a trip? Or have you been afraid to make long-term plans for the future about taking a trip or taking a relationship to the next level? So let's see what's coming up in the root of our spread here. We have the Eight of Water card. So this is subconscious or unknown, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. So subconsciously what's going on is that there is something you are feeling kind of bored with. You've grown out of it. When I say you've grown out of something, again, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Have you grown out of a friendship circle? Have you grown out of a community thing that you're committed to that you do weekly or monthly and you've grown out of it? It doesn't fit with your energy anymore. Or it's simply that, you've just been there, done that. You're feeling bored with something. That's something I see a lot with when I get this Eight of Water card. I do read intuitively, not literally, but I feel that there is something that's making you yawn. Like I feel a big yawn coming up right now. And so there's something you're feeling kind of bored with right now. And I want you to note what that is. Make sure you're writing it in your journal. Maybe you don't know what it is, but just be aware, because subconsciously you've outgrown someone, something, some project, some routine, right? It could be as simple as you've just outgrown the gym you go to. You're ready to try something different, right? It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but be aware. This is being put on your radar because you haven't really acknowledged yet that you are a little bored or you have outgrown something. And that's part of what's making you have a hard time making these long-term plans, because maybe your heart doesn't really want to be doing that in the future. So we'll get some more guidance here. Let's jump over to the recent past. In the recent past, we have the Emperor card, Archangel Michael, organization, logic, structure, discipline, leadership. Yep, I love that card. What they're saying is basically you have been a leader with something in your life. You have been very organized, very disciplined about something, and they're commending you for doing that. However, again, with this subconscious card about you potentially being bored or over something, maybe it's that you're being too hard on yourself, making yourself do something you don't want to do. It's that old, I made my bed, I have to lay in it. That's not true. That's an illusion, okay? There are creative solutions to get out of that energy. And again, it doesn't mean you have to totally leave a job behind, a person behind, a situation behind, but there might be a more creative way to approach it so that you're not feeling bored, so that you do feel that the energy is matching how much you have grown emotionally and how much you have grown spiritually. Because that's another reason why you're feeling bored or you're feeling over something is you have grown, okay? And so then the energy just isn't matching anymore. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just you've outgrown it, right? So let's move on to our current energy card here. In the current energy, we have the Dreamer card. So this is the very beginning of the deck. It would be the full card. in the tarot deck. This is the angel deck, angel tarot deck. It says a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. I love that. Okay, so right now, at the time you're hearing these messages find you when it's in your highest interest. Your spiritual team is highly efficient. Right now, there is an opportunity for you to take a leap of faith. It's an opportunity for you to move on from something that doesn't serve you anymore, right? So think about that. Is there anything that just pops into your mind that you're like, oh yeah, I did get invited to that event, or my friend did call me and ask me if I wanted to join her at that spiritual workshop or on that vacation? Is there anything popping into your head? My boss mentioned maybe I could do this project and get a promotion from it. You'll know what it is for you, but it also might be that you're not aware that opportunity is there because you need to first admit that you're been there, done that, over and done with something, right? You're bored. So first, ask yourself that. I would definitely encourage you, if you don't know what it is, to sit and journal and, just do that self-discovery. Really ask yourself, what is it in my life that I'm bored with? And I always say, look at these 3 areas of your life because the angels want you to have balance in all 3 areas. So it's your health and fitness, your overall wellness, right? Your relationships, not just romantic, but parents, children, siblings, friends, bosses, and then of course your career and finance. If you're retired, this would be your legacy, your next phase of your life, what you want to do in this next phase. Those 3 areas. Are you bored in any of those areas? If you are, what's something you could do about it, right? Is there something you need to just admit to yourself, I'm bored with this, I want to do something new? So again, it could be something as simple as you've always gone to that Pilates class every single Tuesday and you're just bored. Now you want to pick up pickleball and go take a pickleball class, right? All right, so let's move into the near future here. I guess it would be the new future too. We have the 10 of fire. Look at that. All right. So too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns. Now, this is, again, I read it intuitively, so that might feel like a negative card coming up in the near future, but it's actually just a caution that you look to see what's on your calendar, what you have commitments to. Is there anything you can unburden yourself from? Can you outsource it? Can you hire it? Do you not ever have time to sit down and start that book because you're always cleaning up after your kids? Can you hire somebody to help you clean your house? Okay, these are very simple things, but there are things that we need to clear off of our calendar, off of our plate, so that we can take advantage of these new opportunities, right? So if you're really feeling like you have to wait around to finally take action on something, this is your card to say no. Your action to take is to take some things off of your plate, all right? It doesn't mean you don't ever come back to them, but there's something here that is just too much stress on you. So I have a feeling you know what that is. It's probably the first thing that popped into your mind, but if you don't know what it is, that's why I encourage you to write down anything that comes up for you and don't try to overanalyze it. You can always go get my sign up for my free newsletter at devonduerr.com and get my free gift for you, which is my ebook, Is It a Sign? It gives you 5 questions to try to understand what a sign means for you. You're always developing your own language with your angels and your spiritual team. So I encourage you to do that self-reflection and grab that free ebook if you want to. Use those and implement those. If something caught your attention, you're like, still don't know what that means. There is a message for you, but you can sit down and analyze it later. But for the time being, just write it down. Give your future self that gift of hindsight. So this is the card where we represent your personal power here. And I like to talk about how this is where we'll get our pocket affirmations. It's really interesting to see what are the things that are going to bring you power. It says King of Fire. Look at that. Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, focus, communicate your vision, and, make time for, what does that say? Advice from someone creative. There we go. That's something that's been coming up lately, is to seek mentors, seek tutorials, see what other people are doing with something you want to do. Maybe you are retiring and you're like, I wonder what it would be like to have a travel vlog. So you go find people who are retired who have travel vlogs, and then you make it your own. There are things that you will get personal power with for that. And I am seeing that this card of focusing, your power is going to come from when you really communicate your vision. And the communication comes from first asking your heart what you want and then asking for help with that. That's again communication. Communicate with the angels. So what I am actually getting for you that would be really valuable to do at this time is update your vision board. If you don't have one, it's really easy to do. In my journal that I sell on Amazon, I have a very specific spot for it so you can have your vision board with you all the time. You can print out little tiny free images on Google that make you feel something and create your vision board that way. There's so many ways to do it, but this is going to be communicating with vision. That's where you're going to get your personal power here. So let's do a pocket affirmation here for this King of Fire, your personal priorities. Personal power. Sorry. The pocket affirmation we're going to do is, I communicate my visions. I communicate my visions. Go ahead and write that in the comment section below. And then the second pocket affirmation I want you to use with this personal power is, I easily focus on what my heart wants. I easily focus on what my heart wants. Write that in the comment section below, and then you're going to communicate with vision. What does your heart want? Go find a free Google image on the computer, create a digital vision board if you don't have a printer at home, but definitely communicate with vision. This is going to bring you so much power. So let's see what's coming up in the external factors here. In the external factors, we have the Queen of Air. So this is people around you that are witty, they're objective, they're good at clearing things away that don't serve them, seeing the humor in a situation. So there may be somebody you need to seek advice from that can help you see what are all these burdens and how do I put them down. It also could mean, again, seeking that mentor who's already done it. And I am getting that even for you, there's something in your environment that you need to clear away that's going to help you unburden yourself so you're not having these stress-related health concerns. So again, is there too much gossip going on around you when you're trying to work during the day? Is there too much going on in the news and the social media? You need to take a break and turn that off and say, you know what, I'm not going to look at that for the next 2 days. And a lot of people will say to me, but how do you just turn everything off? What if you need to know what's going on? I will actually ask my angels, if there's anything I need to know, please find a way for that information to get to me. And it always does. Either my husband will walk in the room and say, hey, did you see this headline? Or my sister will send me a text with an article, or I'll get an alert on my phone about the weather. There's things that you can do to get the information you need at the time, and your spiritual team will help you do that. So let's see what's coming up in the hopes and fears. Kind of making a mess of this spread, aren't I? Getting them all disorganized. All right. So this is your hopes or fears. This is the 10 of Air card. It says the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change, expect things to get better, recovering from an addiction. So there is something that you have realized you want to let go of. And it might be hard to have that conversation with someone or even with yourself. Like, oh, you know what? I really am ready to move. I love this house. I've been here a long time. I love the neighborhood, but I'm done. I want to live where I want to live now. Or it could be with a relationship or a job or a boss or a friendship, like where you're having coffee every Tuesday with the same group of people, but there's just too much negative and gossip going on, and you're wanting to remove yourself from that environment. You're having to let everybody know, hey, I'm not going to be able to meet you guys on Tuesdays anymore. I love you, but my heart wants to focus on a new opportunity in my project, so I've got to put down these burdens. So you'll know what that is for you, but where it's coming up is like that fear over having to admit that to yourself. Like, I'm afraid to admit to myself, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I'm afraid to admit that I'm really not happy at my job, right? These are the things, but then also embracing the change. All right, well, now that I know I am bored with the project I'm doing, my heart's not in anymore, what can I do about it? Embracing the change. And that's where that new opportunity comes in. So let's see what we have in the final outcome card so we can break it down with the other 3 decks here in a moment. We have the 6 of Water. It says memories from your past, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. So there we go, right there. You have to be careful you're not getting stuck in nostalgia. There is something you don't want in your life anymore, and the reason you're hanging on to it is you're romanticizing the past, or you're having nostalgia over it. Maybe it does involve something from your childhood. It could be that old piece of antique furniture that just doesn't go with your decor anymore, but it's been handed down through the family. Are you ready to get that out of there so you have room for your new artwork space that you're going to create? There's something here that needs to be released because their energy isn't there anymore for you. So this could not be any clearer to me. This is a very, very clear reading that there is something that you need to admit to yourself you're not happy with anymore, but we're going to get some more clarification here. And it's really going to take embracing that change and being compassionate with yourself about that. And as always, we'll do your bonus messages at the end so that we can get some actions to take. So we're going to use the same decks I used in my previous video because I love these decks. This particular deck, I am blanking on which one it is, but it shuffles so well. It almost too fast sometimes. It's always flying out of my hands. And this is the Dream deck here. And then I just love this Unicorn deck, so that's why I'm using it again as well. It's so beautiful. I was all about the unicorns and Pegasuses when I was a little girl. Loved My Little Pony and all that stuff. So, okay, let's dive into this energy here. So first I have the Seven of Fire card here. Challenge, determination, resistance. Okay, so this is again about standing up for something that your heart is saying, I'm not happy here anymore, I'm bored. And you might get resistance from others. This is the old, telling your parents, I don't want to have that. I don't want to use my degree to do this anymore. I want to go in a different direction with my work. And they're going, wait, what are you doing? You have security with that. And you get resistance around you, but your heart knows you want to do something different. So what's coming up for the Dream card to get some clarification there? We have the Winter card. It says reflection, transition, release, right? So you are being asked right now at the time you hear these messages to really do some reflection. Where in my life, those three areas, career and finance, relationships, health and fitness, where am I bored? Where am I bored, right? How can we change it up? How can we release it? Where am I resisting this change? Where am I being nostalgic about something, right? So what do we get for the Unicorn card here? We have try something new. See? I mean, this is why I love doing this second spread to back it up, because you just can't make it up. I mean, I shuffle all these cards thoroughly. I don't know what's going to come through. Only our spiritual team does, but you need to do something new. My example of you go to Pilates every week, you're bored, you want to go try pickleball. What is that for you that's new, right? All right, let's see what's coming up in the second spread for us. Eight of Fire, Eight of Wands again. So speak, activity, multitasking. Yeah, there is something that there's a lot of irons in the fire. That's what I always see with that card. You've got a lot of irons in the fire. And we did have that 10 of Wands card or 10 of Fire card about stress-related health concerns, too much going on. It's time to take some things out of the fire, put them on the back burner. You can get to them later if your heart wants to or if it's meant to be. But there is something here, again, about releasing, letting go of something because it's just too much going on at once. So let's see what's coming up for the Dream card. We have Violet, spirituality, wisdom, humility. Yeah, there has been a lot of spiritual growth for you. And you may have to take that approach of the humility word is what's really sticking out for me there, that spiritual approach to something, and surrender to certain things just being the way they're going to be in order for you to follow what your heart wants. Again, surrendering to the fact that you're bored with something and it's time to move on, or just taking that spiritual approach to something, right? And taking that 30,000 foot perspective that the angels take. So let's see what's coming up for your Unicorn card here. We have listen to your true feelings. Don't let others talk you into doing something that you know is wrong. See, this is all just continued validation. Like we had that Queen of Swords card from your external factors. You might tell somebody what you want to do and they may try to say, oh, that's never going to work. Oh, that's never going to happen. Or you say, hey, I think I want to be with this person. I think I'm going to ask him out. Oh, no, that person's not good for you. Don't let them talk you out of what your heart is telling you to do, right? All right, let's see what's coming up in the third row here so we can get to your bonus messages. We have Five of Water, disappointment, regret, forgiveness. This is that opportunity to be grateful for the things you do have in your life and not spend too much time having regret over something you can't change. There are things that have already happened, they're in the past, and maybe you keep reflecting on them and thinking, oh, I wish I would have done it this way. I wish that hadn't happened. You know, that was the one that got away, whatever it is. We've got to get out of that energy and we have to focus on what do we have now? What are the things we can do now that are going to help us grow and help us get to where our heart wants us to be? And look at what I just said about getting to where our heart wants to be. We have the stairs card, direction and timing. This is spiritual evolution. This is climbing the stairs towards what your heart wants, leaving something behind and moving into that higher vibrational energy. So what do we have for the unicorn card here? We have the relax. Everything's okay. Don't worry. It's all going to be fine. I love that. So I'm going to let you get one more look at these cards here so you can see it all together. You're going to be doing this self-discovery. You're going to be doing this reflection. You are going to realize there are things that are no longer serving you. Once you own that and you have compassion for that, then say everything's going to be okay, right? And you can also say everything is okay. That would be better. I'd rather you do a present energy. Everything is okay. And then use my favorite pocket affirmation. Anybody know what that is? I am in divine flow. You want to write that in the comment section below? I am in divine flow. Everything's going to be okay. These new opportunities are coming for you. We just don't want to get stuck in the past. Don't romanticize the past. Don't let others talk you out of things that your heart wants. All right, I love that. So let's switch over to your bonus messages here, which will give us some actions to take. And if these messages resonate with you, I'd really appreciate if you'd hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And of course, share these videos with anybody that you feel it would resonate. It really helps my channel grow. Let me know how you're all doing in the comments. I read every single one of your comments, and I just love connecting with you in that way. I have my lives every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central where we get to talk live, and I have topics or sometimes I have my good friend Chris Reck from Menopon Tarot on. So definitely connect with me on my lives there as well. All right, so this is the spread I put in my journal every single morning when I get up. It's the present energy, near future, and future spread with 2 actions to take. So what's the first card we have here? We have the 7 of water. This is the present energy, a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. So I feel like the present energy right here, the need to do research, that's that self-discovery of asking yourself, where am I ready to move on? What have I outgrown? What feels like been there, done that? My heart wants something more. That's what you're being asked to do right now with this present energy. And because it is this 7 of cups essentially in tarot, it can be confusing. It can be confusing, but have grace for yourself and do that reflection. Just don't procrastinate, right? Take action now. Do that journaling. And then coming up in the near future, we have things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So this is really, really positive. You are going to feel inspiration. You might find that there is an ending coming, but it's going to create that opportunity for something new, like we had in the Celtic cross spread about a new opportunity. So first you have to acknowledge what's not working for you anymore, and then you're going to see these new opportunities to do something new. So it's coming up in the near future, so get journaling. The next thing we have is the 2 of water, a relationship that grows closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. So you are going to find a positive resolution, a creative solution. Like we had that unicorn card, everything is okay. So stay in divine flow, and if you do the work now to do that reflection, admit what's not working, move away from that energy, then everything's going to work out. You're going to find that positive resolution, right? Especially if you are getting resistance from people around you, your spouse, your family, your boss, your friends. You're going to find a way to move through that as long as you're following your heart. So let's see what's going for our 2 action cards. The first one is 6 of earth, gifts of time, money, or effort, new career opportunities, repaying a loan or debt. All right, so this is an action card. So you need to put energy into the things you want. That's what's going to return it back to you. It's activating that giving and receiving cycle. The story I always tell is when I wanted to start offering animal communication sessions, and angel readings, I first started going to a spiritual network here in town. We have one called Healing Arts Festival, and I rented a table. And in exchange for a free reading, people would give me their email, and I built my confidence, and then I eventually started getting clients. So it's activating that giving and receiving cycle, but you have to first put that gift of time or energy into it. And I feel like the biggest gift you can give yourself right now is stop procrastinating and start owning up to the things that are no longer serving you. So let me know if that's resonating with you, and let's see what your final action card is. Life experience. You can't make this stuff up. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. So this card is actually the Tower card in the tarot, the traditional tarot. And I know a lot of people get scared of that card, but trust me, it's not. This is happening for you. You can't stop change, so you need to embrace the change. And this is actually going to be what allows you to spread your wings. So really, because it's coming up in the action part of this spread, it's asking you to spread your wings, expand your horizons. If time, money, commitments were not an option, what would you release and where would you head, right? That's why I was talking about the example of, even if you're not planning on retiring soon, what do you see your retirement being like? Are you somebody who travels the world, or are you somebody who finally builds that homestead in your backyard where you're farming all the time? You can take action on those things right now. You don't have to wait. In fact, you're being asked not to wait. You're being asked to invest that time and energy now. Start with one small vegetable bed, and you can start growing it out so that by the time you're retired, you have a huge farm in your backyard, right? So I love this energy for all of you, and I really want you to focus on the things you can do for self-reflection right now. That's what's the biggest message I'm getting through. Make sure you're doing that vision board. Make sure you're saying those pocket affirmations. Let me know how you're doing. I will see you again very soon. Hope to see you at my Wednesday lives. Thank you for being here, and remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.